Porn. Good morning. We're on with Dr. Abby Bleistein of Healthful Life MD, and I'd love for you to go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm Dr. Abby Bleistein, as she said. I am board certified in internal medicine, pediatrics, and also in obesity medicine. And I have a practice called Healthful Life MD that's a multidisciplinary practice for medical weight loss. So we have a registered dietitian, certified nutritionist, a therapeutic trainer, health psychologist, and a culinary nutrition chef, an expert in culinary nutrition that help people to really live their best life.
That sounds great. I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about a topic that I think everyone can identify with when it comes to starting a new program. And I know that Healthful Life MD has 12 and 15-week programs, but the topic I want to talk about is the motivation to start one of those. And I'm sure that you hear a lot of the, just hesitations that patients might have before they begin a program. And I wanted to have you speak a little bit more about when is the absolute best time to start and talking about people's motivations.
Oh, absolutely. It's really interesting because I do get calls from patients who are interested in starting and they hear about the program and they say it sounds great, but they decide, it's not good timing for one reason or another. Oh, it's right before the holidays, or I'm going to be traveling for work, or I have a trip coming up in the next 3 weeks. And so I'm just going to wait till after that and then I'll get started. And, the truth is that the ebb and flow of our lives kind of continues, that there's never really a perfect time to start a program. There's always going to be something that comes up. And a lot of that we can't even predict. So, holidays we can predict. We can say, oh, Christmas time maybe is hard. But the truth is, a lot of the stressors in our life that maybe make it more challenging to stick with lifestyle change happen, unexpectedly, for example, what we're going through right now. And I have patients right now who are actually losing weight, on the program, even though there's all this increased stress. And even though we're sitting at home in front of our fridge and it's, really challenging, but they actually are really being successful, and patients who lose weight over the holidays and such. So the truth is there's no perfect time. The best time to start is really right now, because I can't tell you how often I hear from patients where they say, oh, I wish I had started this, a year ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it is. The best time to start is right now, because that's when you're going to get on track, and those changes that happen, you're going to be able to celebrate them longer. So, so even though it might feel like, oh, maybe it's not the right time, the truth is, your health is always a priority and always should be a priority. And there's no time like right now to start.
That makes sense. And one of the things that I was thinking about is how when people start with a program, oftentimes they have a goal in mind of, I want to weigh X pounds, or I want to look great, on the beach. So I was wondering if you could kind of talk about the difference between the kind of goals that successful patients create for themselves versus maybe people that get stuck on the numbers.
Yeah.
What the
And
scale says.
And so a lot of times when people start a lifestyle change program, they're not really thinking about lifestyle. They're thinking about, I want to weigh a certain number, or I want to be in a certain size. What we know from studies is that those people are the least successful. So they've done studies where they show that people whose really end goal or their end goal is a number, they end up actually gaining weight over a course of a program, compared to people who maybe have more intrinsic goals, like, that have to do maybe with their health or their ability to do certain things, more functional types of goals. And so the truth is, even though a lot of us may have a number in our mind about where we want to go, thinking about your big why am I doing this? Why do I really want to have lifestyle change is really important. And thinking about things like, how does my life look different when I'm eating healthy, when I'm exercising regularly, when I'm fit? How does my life look different? And what are the emotions involved in that? And so, for example, if I'm healthy and fit and I can climb to the top of the mountain, how does that feel? I feel energetic. I feel powerful, right? So those kinds of things are really important. I can be active with my kids or active with my grandkids in a way that I can't be when I'm not eating healthy or when I'm not fit. I don't feel tired all the time. And those things are really, long term, those are goals that are going to help you really stay on track. For a lot of people, it's health goals like, diabetes or cholesterol. They see those numbers creeping up. And so really thinking about, where do I want to be in 5 years or 10 years? How do I want my life to look? And when I think about my patients that I've worked with before, I have patients who celebrate their success with things. I had one patient who did a walking trip in Ireland, and it was just this magical trip where she really, it's something she couldn't have done before, but she really felt great doing it. And she was able to go places and see places that she hadn't seen before. And so those kinds of celebrations and that kind of success is what's going to keep you motivated long term when you're really trying to make lifestyle change.
Yeah, and your point about thinking about how you'll feel once you get to that, you achieve your why is so important, because it's kind of like it goes beyond just visualizing yourself reaching the goal. It's more of how that goal is going to change your life and change your outlook. So I wanted to
Absolutely.
ask about the team that you have working there at Healthful Life and how they help patients with accountability and staying on track with the program.
Absolutely. So, I don't love the word accountability. And a lot of people say, oh, I need to do this program because I need to be accountable to someone. But to me, accountability feels more like judgment. So you sort of this,
That's a
punishing, oh, if
shame.
I go, yeah.
It's got
if
shame
I
involved. Forget that.
Exactly. There's shame involved. If I go in and I don't meet this certain goal, then Dr. Abby will be upset with me or whatever. I don't think that's helpful. And the truth is studies show that that's not helpful. So positive motivations are more useful. And I like to think more about connection, right? So it's connection with a team of experts that can really help you along the way. And there's always going to be challenges and setbacks and things like that. But to have a team that's really supporting you and holding you up through this process, right? So something didn't work well, there was something that didn't go right, to be able to communicate with a team member, to work with a dietitian and say, wow, when I'm traveling, it's really tough. What do I do? How can I make differences? And really talk about what kinds of choices are going to work? How can I make this work so I can still be successful? Those are the kinds of things that help the most. So I think really, I like to think more about connection and having a team of people that are supporting you and walking with you on this journey, every step of the way to help you to be successful.
And that's really important, because the patient achieving the success, is the same as one of your team members helping them get there, versus a lot of groups, that stress, we've all got to kind of push each other, and everybody has different motivations and everyone's why is different. So I like the idea of having the team be able to communicate with you, for those specific challenges, like when you're
Yeah.
traveling, how hard it is to eat healthy, or when you have to grab a snack from the gas station, what kinds of things are you going to be able to eat?
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I also heard that you have a new app for Healthful Life MD. Could you tell me about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're really excited about our app, but the Helpful Life MD app actually has a tracking program in it. And so that's really useful, that people can get on track with their nutrition and track their nutrition to sort of see what they're actually doing, because it's really hard. In general, we're not very good at recall and remembering what we've actually eaten. So even though it feels like we do, we don't. We're not good at it. And they've shown that in lots of different studies. So the app has tracking, which is great. But what's nice about it then is when you're in the program with us, we can track right along with you and then give you pointers and help you along the way. So the app can be really useful. And we're looking forward to starting our new behavioral program. And so the behavioral program is working with our health psychologist who specializes in food, relationship, and eating, eating disorders specifically, but also just relationship with with food kinds of issues. And what we're going to do is have an educational session once a month, and then 2 weeks later, follow it up with a group counseling session for those who want to
Mm.
be involved with group counseling. And so around a specific topic to really work through and help with lifestyle change. So I think the combination of working with the app and then having the behavioral program will really help support people, especially during this time, virtually, in a way that's going to be really beneficial for them.
Well, that's great. And Dr. Abby, I wanted to also put out to our viewers that we're taking questions related to the program in general, questions that people have about the app, about the members of the team. And if anyone has questions, please post them in the comments, or you can send a private message as well. But I just want to thank you for your time, Dr. Abby, and we'll be talking soon.
Sounds good. It's so great to talk with you. Take care. Be well.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.